Hello, everyone. I want to do a very brief week 3 overview video. This is just in addition to the more detailed things that I put up every week. Obviously, we have our reading, Bruckner and Fisher's Why is Death Bad? And there are, I don't know how many videos. Let's take a look. It's a complicated reading. So there's, I would imagine, multiple videos on this reading. However brief it is, it's very dense, and it consists almost entirely of arguments that we need to understand. So, waiting for things to come up here. Yeah, there's only four. There's four videos, and I would really say that the videos hopefully will help. But you should definitely watch them this week, especially that first video, which is not specifically about the reading, but about the problem that the reading addresses, the asymmetry problem. You absolutely have to know what that is to know what's going on this week. So hopefully I've explained it sufficiently. Obviously, if you have any questions that are not clarified by the videos, please let me know. So this is the last week of the first part of the course. This part of the course that I've called Epicureanism and its Puzzles. We take a look at the course outline. Yes, part one, Epicureanism and its puzzles. And I hope that by now you have a sense of, what I was getting at when I called the first part of the course that, and what Epicureanism is, for instance. Don't look it up because you won't get the definition that we're working with. Epicureanism in the larger sense is something else. Epicureanism for us is the Epicurean view of death, basically. The standard thing that at death we become nothing. Death is merely the limit of life. Death is not something that we'll ever experience, so it's neither good nor bad for us. That's what I mean by Epicureanism here. That should be clear by now. And it's puzzles. There are puzzles. We're just looking at one of those puzzles really in depth, and that is the puzzling implication that under the Epicurean view of death, under Epicureanism with regard to death, death is not a bad thing for the one who dies. That is a puzzle, I would say. And Nagel and then Bruckner and Fisher are taking up that puzzle and obviously arguing against the Epicurean position. Now, this essay by Bruckner and Fisher is about the asymmetry problem. So you really pay close attention to the videos. Make sure that you understand what the asymmetry is, why it's a problem, and as I said hopefully in the video on the asymmetry problem, what it would mean to solve the asymmetry problem. Right? The problem is that we seem to be inconsistent in our views of prenatal as opposed to posthumous non-existence, and that inconsistency is just that, an inconsistency. That is, we don't have a basis for thinking that posthumous non-existence is bad while we are indifferent to prenatal non-existence, since under the way that Bruckner and Fisher are arguing, it would seem that they are both times in which we are being deprived of the goods of life. And therefore, if we consider one to be bad, we should consider the other to be bad too, for the sake of consistency. So their solution, as you know from looking at it, is to argue that there is a basis for distinguishing between them. That is, that we do have a rational foundation for regarding posthumous non-existence as bad, while being relatively indifferent to our prenatal non-existence, because the goods that we are deprived of through posthumous non-existence have a different value for the reasons that they supply than the goods that we were deprived of because of prenatal non-existence. So this is not an easy essay. This is not an easy problem. It's going to take work, and it's going to take time. Looking ahead, obviously, at the end of this whole experience, we have a final exam and a familiarity with the asymmetry problem and with the way that Bruckner and Fisher actually attempt to solve it. That is, what solution they're offering will definitely be part of the final exam. But also looking ahead to the first essay, if we do look to the first essay, we see that you have a choice of which question you want to respond to. Of course, there is an essay, or excuse me, there is a video on the first essay, which I really encourage you to watch. But you see that, so I don't need to really go into any detail about the first essay here. But if you look at the first essay, obviously you have a choice. Oh, sorry. Bad internet right now. Just waiting for it to load. It's tricky. There it does it again. Yes, if we look at the first essay, and all the essays, and this goes, I go into this in the video, need to be about 750 words. That's about 3 pages, double spaced. Answer one of the questions, right? But you do have a choice, and one of the choices is to write about Nagel's relationship with Epicurus, and the other is to evaluate this essay in terms of what it's trying to do, which is to solve the asymmetry problem. You'll be writing about one or the other, not both of these. That's not the assignment. The assignment is to choose one and write a 3-page essay in response to the question. But at least for this week, if you do choose to write about Bruckner and Fisher, you need to know what the asymmetry problem is, and you need to know what it would mean for this asymmetry problem to be solved, and you would need to know the particular solution that they offer in their essay. So you should really feel like you have a confident grasp of all of that. Obviously, the other topic is related topic, but distinct topic, and really has to do with the main purpose of Nagel's essay, which is to refute the idea that death can never be considered bad for the one who dies. So it's really related issues, but you just have to choose one. So yeah, this week, again, we have challenging material. Nagel's not easy to read, and it's not something that you're going to get by reading it casually. You simply have to get into it, and the videos are there to help you to get into it. They're not there as a substitute for doing the reading. If you rely too much on what I say, you will be led astray, because I'm not trying to give you everything you need to know. That would mean, why would I assign a reading if I needed to do that? They're meant to be a supplement to the readings. So what you should be doing in this course is reading, looking at the readings, becoming more familiar with them, becoming more comfortable in writing about them, talking about the issues, stuff like that. So that's what we're getting into this week, the week 3, the last week of the first part of the course. Next week, you'll be concentrating both on reading 4 from Hans Jonas, but you'll also have to be working on your first essay. Just once again, as I always like to say, feel free to contact me with any questions you might have about the course.